Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In today's video, we're going to look at bus tracks and how we can access them from a script. So we will look at the audio bus track specifically, but there is also a video bus track, and so let's take a look and see how we can access those. Here is our script to begin with. The first thing I did was create a show all bus tracks routine. And inside this routine, we are going to do for each, and we're going to look at a bus track. I'm just going to call that B track in myvegas.project.busTracks. And then I'm going to get the bus name, and then the media type of that bus, and then show is it audio, is it video, is it a master, and the description. And then we will show that. So the first thing we're going to do is just run this calling show all bus tracks, and this is just going to show us all of the bus tracks that are in the project. So here I've opened a new instance of Vegas. All I have done is add a video to the timeline. Now let's run the script. So we run this script, and the first bus that it finds is a bus named video. It's of type video. Is audio is false, is video is true, is master is true, and the description is video. So when we click OK, it shows us our second bus. This bus is named master. It's of type audio. Is audio is true, is video is false, is master is true, and it has no description. So I'm going to just click on OK. But you notice we don't see any of these bus tracks. So let's go to View, Audio Bus Tracks, and View Video Bus Track. So here at the bottom we have the video bus track, and it has an FX option, a mute option, bypass FX and envelopes, and an automation setting. If we add an FX here, so if I click a button here and we add something, you will notice that now when we look up here, it says that we have an FX added, and this is the same FX that we just added. And if I remove it from there, I've removed it from here and have removed it from here. So consider this video bus track essentially the same as your output master. The same thing is true with the audio master. Then we have our master. Let me expand this up just a little bit, and we have places to add effects, our automation settings, our volume. If you notice, when we move the volume here, we are also moving our master volume up in the upper right hand corner. So both of these move at the same time. When I move one, I'm moving both. Similarly, if I add an FX at the master bus, I am also going to be adding it on this master bus track. So it's basically a second place of looking at the master bus. With the audio tracks, we can also manually go in and add additional bus tracks. We can insert both an audio bus, which will add, now we have a bus A down here, and then we can also insert an input bus and insert an audio assignable FX, in which case we would have to pick an FX, and when we scroll down we can see that we have the FX bus added here, and then we have bus A is now added here. And when we come up here to our regular audio track, we can actually tell the output to go to bus A or master now, and under envelopes we now have FX1, which is our EFX reverb track, as an option. So we have many more options available to us after adding the additional buses. So now we're going to show the original two buses again, but then I'm going to create an audio bus track that I'm just going to call ABT, audio bus track. And to do that, we're going to go to myvegas.project.add audio bus track. Notice we have to have the parentheses because it's a method. To create an audio FX bus track, I have to actually have an effect. So what I'm going to do is create a plugin node and get an audio effects. And then to get that, I'm going to go to myvegas.audioFX, and then I'm going to find a child by this name right here. If you remember, in the past we have created a file that's got all of these names in it. You can go back and look at that video to see how to do that. But this is actually the same effect that I picked earlier, which is the reverb effect. And then to create the bus track, which I called AFXBT, we're going to add an audio FX bus track, and we're going to pass it that effect, which it'll add it with that effect already there. Then I'm going to show all the bus tracks again. So let's give this a try. So, as before, we get our video, that's of type video. It is not audio, it is video, it is a master, and the description is video. Then we get the one called master, which is audio, true, false, true, with no description. Then our script is now going to go in and add those extra bus tracks, and then we're going to go through this list again. So the new tracks have just been added. So the first track is now video, of type video. It's not audio, it is video, and it is a master. Our second track is named master, of type audio. It is an audio, it is not video, it is a master. But now we have our bus A track. It is of type audio, it is not video, it is not a master. And then we also have our FX1 track, which is of type audio. It is audio, it is not video, and it is not a master. And then if I go down here and open the bus tracks back up, we can see we have our EFX reverb has been added, our bus A has been added, and if I scroll down, our master is still there. I'm just showing the audio ones right now. So let's undo this and add a little bit more to the script. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get rid of this show all bus tracks, because we've seen it multiple times now. And then I'm going to get rid of this one because we know that it's going to show them all again with the other two added. And then I'm going to go through and pick my first track is my track. This is actually the audio track, and because I'm looking at track number 1, which is the second track. So this is my audio track. Down here, instead of duplicating all this, let me just change this to my track. So we're going to take our my track and convert it from a regular track to now being an audio track. Down here, I have an FX envelope, which is of type envelope, and I'm going to create a new envelope of type volume. And then on the audio bus track, I'm going to add that volume envelope to it. For our audio track, I'm going to change the bus track to be that audio track. The audio track is now going to send its output to bus 1. And then I'm going to create me another envelope, which is of envelope type FX1. This is our new audio FX bus track that we added, our FX1. And I'm going to add that envelope to our audio track. So let's run this and see what changes we made. Okay, now it is complete. If we look here at our audio track, we will see this line is on there, and we'll notice it says it is sending it to FX1. If we open up our bus tracks, FX1 is this reverb track, so this will allow us to control how much or how little gets sent to this FX reverb track. If we right click on this and go to our output, we will see that it is now going to bus A. So when we play the track, the audio will be going to bus A instead of the master. Of course, bus A is feeding the master, so if I play this, let's see where everything is going. So you can see that all of the meters are bouncing, so the output of this was going to the EFX reverb, the output of this was going to the bus A, and bus A is actually feeding the master, and technically EFX reverb is also feeding the master. So both of these were actually sending the output to the master, which is why we were actually getting audio that was a little hot on the master. If we were only sending this to the master by itself with none of the EFX, it would not have gone over 0. So the bus tracks can actually be a very powerful feature in Vegas, in that you can route multiple tracks all to the same bus, and then you can adjust all those tracks at once just by adjusting that one bus. But beyond that, we can actually define how those buses are set up from a script. So if you had a common format, for example, you could set up, say, all selected tracks get routed to bus C. And if you always wanted that to happen, then you could create a little script that would let you then select which tracks you wanted to go to C, run the little script, and then all of those would suddenly be routed to C instead of the master. And then all you have to do is adjust bus C, and you will be adjusting all of them at once in the master. So I hope you find this tutorial useful, and check out the bus tracks. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.